Hello folks, Joker77 here. Just want to talk about something that I was aching to talk about. Now I got a chance to do it, especially when I found something I never thought I would find in my lifetime, ever. Before I explain what this is, let me go on and say that I am a big video game buff. I love playing video games, but most importantly, I love hearing the music behind it. I love the soundtrack. If a soundtrack is great, I like to play just to hear the music. One that comes to mind is Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid, by far, is one of the best orchestrated soundtracks ever been put on a video game. It has a wonderful end credit theme song. It also, has a great beat to go with it. It has a great atmosphere. And it's one of those very few games that actually has a full orchestra. It fits with the game. Most video games now are designed like this, that they have a great orchestra music. Sometimes they have a great rock and roll. Sometimes they have beautiful background orchestra. And there actually been some video games that actually came out with their own soundtrack. And rightfully so. It's a big business for most of the countries. They haven't reached mainstream here yet, even though it has, in the United States, even though it has been sold in certain stores, but it hasn't reached that peak of being recognized, which is sad because I actually I enjoy listening to the soundtrack. So what does this have to do with this vlog? Well, everything, because not only am I going to talk about some of the soundtracks of video games that impact me, but I want to talk about a soundtrack that really I never thought I would actually get, and that is this one. See if I can put this up here. Medal of Honor Frontline. Now, let me tell you something. I have played at least this and two other Medal of Honor games. I played Medal of Honor the original, Medal of Honor Underground, which is a very, very good game. And I also play Frontline, which is a very complex game. And what I liked about the game, besides its excellent gameplay and beautiful story, I actually liked the music. I liked the orchestrated music that went with it. And ironically, I couldn't find any of the Medal of Honor game soundtracks because A, they didn't sell it in any of the stores I went to, and B, I had to get it overseas, which is even 10 times more expensive. So I just basically gave up to it. I was sad, about it, but I wanted to get this soundtrack. I saw the behind the scenes of how they did the orchestra music on my game, and I said, gee, I wish I can find a way to get this soundtrack. About a week ago, I walked past a thrift shop, and I normally walk past every now and then. They sell like used books, and they also sell Avons, and they sell little boutiques. But I decided to stop in every now and then and see what I can get. And, sure enough, there was this whole rack of CDs for 50 cents each. And I said, to myself, you know what? Let me pick up a few musics. I may find something I like, which I did. I actually found some good music. I found an Eric Clapton songs album, which I liked very, very much. I found this baby right here. Oh yeah, The Crow. This is my soundtrack. We will be talking about that soundtrack in the near future because that soundtrack was the reason why I saw the movie, and I was not disappointed. But I had to have that soundtrack. So I picked up that. I picked up a game which for some reason I cannot program. I'm going to try again this week and see if I can put it on. It was called Myst. And the reason why I picked that up because I'm determined to beat this game. I had this game for PlayStation and I could not beat this game to help me. Not realizing that this game really much relies on thinking rather than just shooting and everything else. But it frustrated me so much that I said if I ever get a hold of this game again, I'm going to beat this game, and behold, I got it. It's a computer version, and I think my computer don't take it because it's so outdated. But if I can try and get it activated, I'm going to get it. I'm going to try and beat this game because Myst is one of those games that absolutely frustrate me. And a friend of mine is telling me, well, you gotta, use common sense thinking. I said, I think it's common sense thinking. Shut up. I didn't, really. It was all fun and games, but I really was annoyed by that. But when I started scrolling, I saw this in the bin, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm taking this. I have to buy this. 50 cents? I have to buy this. I'm going to buy this soundtrack. And I bought the soundtrack. And I love the soundtrack. Just like I heard in the video game, it's the same way I heard it here. The soundtrack in total is 74 minutes and 41 seconds, and I loved every minute of it. Yeah, by the way, just to let you know, the average video game soundtrack costs anywhere between $19 to $37. That's how expensive video game soundtracks are. They are not cheap. Some of them come in 3-disc sets, some of them come in 2-disc sets. So yeah, this one actually came in a 1-disc set. So, it probably was around $19, $21. It's long though. It's not short. It is a long soundtrack. You're going to get your money's worth. So even if you were to pay like $21.50 or $27.50, you're getting your money's worth because it's a very long soundtrack, and there is almost every level that you played in the Medal of Honor is the music is there. All you need to do is sit back and remember it, and it brought back great memories. Very good memories of that game. I actually enjoyed that game. So when I got the soundtrack, I was like, yeah, I'm hooked. I'm in. And yeah, I'm just realized how much of a nerd I really am. That's a good thing. But yeah, I enjoyed Medal Honor. I really did. I never played the Rising Sun, and I didn't play the new ones. I actually stopped on Frontline. I wanted to play Rising Sun, but I just I don't know, something about that game. I couldn't I don't remember why I didn't play it. Probably because I didn't get time for it, and I had other things that was going on at the time. But this was a very, very good soundtrack. I think it's conducted, I pretty much believe, by, let's see, who's this? Michael Ganacello. If I said your name wrong, I'm sorry, but this is I think it's an awkward name, but hats off to you, pal. You did a great job with this soundtrack. Yeah, this is a great, music. And it's broken up pretty much into the same way as the stages is broken up. Storm of the Port, which total runtime is it's 11. Wait, I'm sorry. You have Operation Market Garden, which is the beginning of the game. Very good sound. Very good sound to it. A lot of people didn't like that that theme because it was just slow. It was just like drag. But that was the point of that sound. I didn't have a problem with it. It was pretty good. Storm of the Port. It runs 11 minutes total because it has it does all the board's mission. That's the first stage where you have Border Town, U-4902, Shipyard, Needles in the Haystack. Needle in the Haystack, which is 13 minutes, 37 seconds. And there you have After the Drop, Kevinsburg, Minor House, Rally, and the Hallcliffe Chess, which I hope I'm saying that right. Sorry, my spelling is not always up to par. I apologize for that. Then you have the next stage, which is Several Bridges Too Far, which has 3 tracks in itself, 13 minutes, 52 seconds. Then you have Rolling Thunder, which is actually surprisingly not much. It only runs a total of 9:47. This has 3 tracks within itself, and the Hornet's Nest, which is 14:37. That is pretty much, I think the longest is Needle in the Haystack, which is 13:37. The shortest is Rolling Thunder, which is 14:48. So that's the longest one. And then you have the final one, which is the Songless Night Night Triangle. So Songless Night Triangle, which is only 2 minutes and 46 seconds. So there's your running time, and they're all broken up into the same way you would see it in the stage. I like the soundtrack. It's very, very good. I really did. You know, when I played that game and I heard that music in the background, I really felt like I was watching a movie. I thought I was involved in something very, very epic. The games were great, and that really helped that music a lot. You know, sometimes the music is pretty much boost the game to that. You know, one of the things I don't like is the music that doesn't sound like it should be with should match with the game. Mario Brothers is a perfect example. Mario Brothers, you expect to have a good melody in that game, and they do. I mean, I think there's only one I didn't like too much, and that was like Mario 2. But that's just a small minor thing compared to Mario 1 and Mario 2, Mario 3, and the other ones that came before it. But yeah, I like video game soundtracks. I like movie soundtracks too. I mean, when I was growing up, that's all I bought. I didn't really buy too many, individual, rock and roll soundtrack. When I went to the movies, and I liked the movie, and I liked the music that's in the movies, and if they had a soundtrack to it, I bought the soundtrack. I remember going to Tower Records and buying the soundtrack. I didn't start getting into video game soundtrack until I had until I had PlayStation, and I actually grown to love the music of PlayStation. I think the very first PlayStation game that I fell in love with the music was Metal Gear, Crash Bandicoot, and Resident Evil 2. I actually had Resident Evil 2, the soundtrack. It was expensive as hell. It was 2 discs, ran for $40. And I had the soundtrack. There were some songs that were shorter than others. There were some songs that were larger than others. But I still liked the soundtrack. It was very, very good. And I enjoyed it very, very much. And, it made me appreciate just how deep these music were. Soundtrack I did not like too much. Surprisingly, was I think Doom. I didn't care for too much. Just I don't know, was something about the Doom theme that really been there, done that. I heard it before. Let's move on. That's how I felt about the Doom theme. The Zelda theme I love. I love the Zelda theme. I actually have some of Zelda themes and some of the Metal Gear themes right on my computer right now. Only reason why I'm not playing it here is because of copyright issues. I'm not gonna, YouTube is very strict on that. But I do have some of the Zelda themes. They're very classic themes. They're very, very good themes. So yeah, you can say I'm a video game buff. I like the music. As crazy as it may sound, I like video game musics. I'm sure I'm not the only one out there. I mean, there's a lot of people out there I know that actually listen to video game music and actually think there should be a more mainstream for it. And it is, because they are, they what make the game more exciting, and they what make the game worth playing sometimes. One of the perfect examples of that is Kingdom Hearts. I actually have that soundtrack. It is a great soundtrack. I love listening to that music. That soundtrack cost me $37.50. I think that's pretty much why the video game soundtracks haven't made mainstream. Now that I think about it, it's pretty much the only reason why I haven't made mainstream. It's very expensive. And it's sad because there are very good video game soundtracks out there. But what do you think about this? Do you have a favorite video game soundtrack? Do you own a video game soundtrack? What's your favorite theme song of a video game that you actually enjoyed? Let me know. Comment below. Until then, this is J77 signing off.